All right, welcome back. As you're headed out to the beach, don't forget the sunscreen, and you better make sure it's a good one.
You have to. Skin cancer rates are soaring in this country. Now, we went to see Dr. Jennifer Pennoyer. She's fabulous in Bloomfield, who says people need to know we are not dealing with the same old sun anymore.
The sun is stronger, there's less ozone, so we're getting hit with much harder rays. The statistics are terrible. The incidence of skin cancer in the United States today is greater than the combined incidence of breast, colon, lung, and prostate cancers.
But it's treatable, right? We just need to be getting checked.
The cure rates are great if caught early. If we don't catch them early, this is something that can kill you.
The rates are going up the fastest in Caucasian men over the age of 50.
And men are not compliant, right?
Oh, they're terrible. They're terrible. They really are. They just don't look around the way you and I would. And most men will come in and say, well, I wear what my wife makes me.
But it's not only the guys who aren't listening.
Less than a third of adults have worn sunscreen on a regular basis over the last 12 months. That's terrible, and those numbers get even smaller when you talk about high school students and kids that are actually outside more. And what we're asking now is that you do it every day of the year, that you really make this part of your everyday regimen.
Dr. Pennoyer says it has to be at least SPF 30, it should be a cream, and you need to apply a golf ball-sized amount about a half an hour before heading out and reapply every 2 hours. Pennoyer spent years developing her own skincare line of products with ingredients that are medically proven to work. When it comes to sunscreen, she says you need to look for a cream with titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, which act as physical barriers on the skin.
The far safer one is the physical sunscreens. Those are going to sit on the surface of your skin and reflect off that sun. They're going to be able to stay on you longer and be harder to rinse off.
Chemical sunscreens are popular, but Pennoyer doesn't love them.
There are a lot of chemical sunscreens out there. Those are ones with names like Helioplex, Avobenzone, Parsol 1789. There's about 22 names. And we don't necessarily know all the long-term effects of absorbing those chemicals. So probably the safer way to go is with the physical sunscreens.
But sunscreen isn't all you need to prevent skin cancer.
Okay, so where you would say don't go to the beach unless you're wearing a hat.
I would. I think it's absolutely mandatory. So most people, when I say please wear a hat in the sun, are going to pick a baseball hat, but that's really providing no protection to the neck, the back of the neck and the ears, and really you're still getting a lot of reflection and exposure. So a much better hat for men would be a more floppy, wide brim.
Swim shirts or rash guards are great protection, and they finally look cool too.
Because I had really drapey clothes, and they're like, Mom, you look like Darth Vader. So now we have rash guards that can be worn, and this one is one that can match your suit, and it can go over and get wet.
A man who's watching this might be like, oh, I'll just put my t-shirt on. Is that the same thing?
Not at all. Their white undershirt is SPF 4, so it's really nowhere near the SPF level of one of these rash guard shirts.
So also people will say, oh, I'm tan, I've got olive skin, I don't really need to worry about it. What do you say to that?
All skin types get skin cancer, and what people forget is Bob Marley died of melanoma. So it really is cumulative on everyone.
Checking your own body is the first line of defense.
It takes about 10 minutes, and it's just looking yourself over and knowing what's on you. And that's something that we should all do once a month.
Look for the ABCs. Asymmetry isn't good. The border of a mole should be smooth. Color should be even. The diameter of melanoma is often bigger than a pencil tip. E is for evolving. Change isn't good when it comes to skin cancer.
So freckling and moles, all good. Nobody makes them perfectly round or perfectly oval, but she does certainly make them in the same way. But skin cancer is going to grow and grow. It's going to bleed. It's not going to heal.
The doc checks me over.
Looks good.
Even looking in my hair and between my toes where the sun doesn't shine.
Yeah. So melanoma can happen anywhere.
And in case you think this doesn't apply to you, hear this.
Someone dies of melanoma every hour in the United States, and Connecticut has one of the highest rates of melanoma in the country.
Incredible.
Wow.
Do not play with this stuff.
You cannot fool around, especially with kids at the beach too.
Absolutely. Now, the sunscreens here in the United States, they're not as good as they are in Europe, and that's because until recently, the FDA-regulated sunscreen is a drug, and it's been hard to get the new products on the market.
Yep, lawmakers recently passed the Sunscreen Act to change that and hopefully fast-track some new innovative sunscreens. So hopefully you'll have more choices soon.
Zinc. Zinc. Make sure it's in the sunscreen. For more information on Dr. Pennoyer or her products, all you have to do is go to betterct.com.
All right.